Hey everyone, and welcome back to my game journal. Last month had a theme to it with its games, but this month does not. I was kind of on a roll with Tears of the Kingdom. I was not able to put that game down until I beat it. The downside to that was that I did not get to play many new games, but I still got some good stuff to talk about. So with that being said, let's get into the first game that I played in the beginning of July. Kicking off my July games is Raincoat, and this has been a pretty slow playthrough, and not because it's a slow game, but because I'm limiting myself to only streaming it, and it's been a little bit of a double-edged sword. I've always wanted a Danganronpa-like experience, or an experience from that same team, and now I finally have it, but man, is waiting for my streams tough. It's an addicting game. And it's an addicting story, so I just want to keep playing it. I don't want to stop streaming when I do, but I know that I have to. Again, this game is made from the Danganronpa team, and that's apparent right from the start. It even has the same formula where you have big story segments with exploration, then investigation, and then what's the equivalent to a class trial, which in this game are labyrinths. I'm now on chapter 2, and my impressions so far are great. The cast is great, but I think that's something that shouldn't be a surprise since Kodaka rarely has misses in that department. The music, while you can definitely tell isn't that same style, isn't as memorable as in Danganronpa. It's still good, don't get me wrong, but when I think back after playing sessions of it, I can't remember much of it. And as for the story, my expectations were already subverted. They were already turned on their head from chapter 0 with how long it was, and with some of the events that happened in them. And in terms of gameplay, I think that labyrinths are more fleshed out than trials, but they are less interesting in nature. What I mean by that is that in Danganronpa you have a huge cast that's always talking, but in labyrinths it's just Yuma and Shinigami, and maybe another person or two. It could become better as the game progresses since I've only done 2 chapters, but I don't know. It seems like this is the formula it's gonna go through. And I guess the biggest complaint that I have about this game are the side quests, not even with the labyrinths. The labyrinths are still good because the gameplay is fleshed out, but the side quests are just boring. They do nothing for me. There's no rewards that I know of, and they're just fetch quests. And I've only done a few, so I could be wrong. I could get rewards, they could get more interesting. But it just feels like they exist to add padding if the player chooses to do them. But other than the side quests, I've been having a very good time with the game. I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes. Kodaka always adds a really cool twist to it, so I'm really excited to see what he does with it. And next up for July is an oldie, but maybe a goodie. We'll see, it's up to viewers' discretion. Yeah, it's Mario Party 1. I played through all the boards with Sandy, since we're working on a Mario Party 1 related video, and wow, this game is tough to get through. I get that this is the first game in the series, and it was a valiant effort, and looking back, probably not terrible at all. But after getting so many better iterations, I can only see you going back to the first game if you hate yourself. With a few exceptions, the boards are mostly mid to bad. The mechanics bully you too much, making the economy feel awful. The minigames are weirdly designed, like there's a 1v3 and you would think that the one has like some type of chance to win, but no, it's just 3 people with hammers jumping you, just stealing coins. And it feels like everything is against you when you play this game. I respect the game for what it created, but I don't think I ever want to go through this again when we have so many better ones, and when so many of the minigames are more polished and better carried out into Mario Party 2. So yeah. Look forward to our video on Mario Party 1. And alongside the hell that was Mario Party 1, I've been playing a game almost exclusively in handheld mode, and that's just because I've been playing it in 15-minute bursts. It's also because I think this game is really enjoyable in handheld mode, and that is Sonic Origins Plus. I'm going through the story mode of it with a new cutscenes to tie each mainline game together, but I'm only still on the first game since, again, I've been playing in super short bursts whenever I want to pass time quickly. Maybe if I'm waiting for an appointment, if I'm waiting to leave somewhere and I don't want to start on anything that I want to play for long periods of time. But I like this collection. A lot of people make it out to be the worst Sonic collection ever, but I don't think that's the case. There are better collections out there. One of my favorites is the Sonic Mega Collection on the GameCube, but that's also because that's the one I grew up on. But even though there are better collections, this one is still solid. It gets the job done. If you're curious to play Sonic 1 through 3 or some Game Gear games that have no way else to play them, then again, this does a fine job. You don't need anything more. So I think this is a convenient game for fans that haven't got a chance to play these games before. And the only DLC, actually, as I saying this, I realized Sonic Origins Plus is DLC, but it's the first time I'm playing that entire game. So the only new DLC, like DLC specific, that I've played is Mario Kart Wave 5 for the Booster Course Pass, and I've seen a mixed reception to this. I know that some people love this wave, and I know that some people hate it. In my opinion, I think it's one of the better waves. I just enjoy every track. There's no track on here that I actively dislike, actually. In the Feather Cup, we got Athens Dash, which gives a great sense of verticality to the tour tracks. It has weird camera shenanigans at times, but it's never terrible. Daisy Cruiser is back, giving Double Dash some more love and making me a very happy boy. Moonview Highway was a shock since I didn't think any city tracks outside of Tour would be added, but it is a welcome addition. Squeaky Clean Sprint is one of the cutest tracks I've ever played and is a ton of fun. And then we have the Cherry Cup, which starts with LA Laps, and I feel like I'm in the minority that really likes this track. I like how it feels like one long lap, and I think they got the feel of LA right. Sunset Wilds is next, which is not terrible. It's just a little boring because it could use the actual sunset that it advertises. Koopa Cape returns as a fan favorite for a way to bring in some chaos, and then the cup ends with Vancouver Velocity, which it's just a good track. It also has a cool anti-gravity section near the start, and those are my basic thoughts of Wave 5. Again, with Wave 4, I do plan on a bigger video to talk about all of them, so I don't want to get too in-depth with each track. And in general, I do think this is one of the better waves. I'm a little sad we got one wave left, but I'm also really excited to see what's in store for that last one. And then the last game that I wanted to talk about is Tears of the Kingdom. And I want to bring it up because, well, I beat it. And no spoilers, by the way, I just wanted to give my thoughts. And wow, what a game this was. Almost all the issues I had from Breath of the Wild were fixed. The shrines felt more involved, although that could have been a byproduct of the abilities allowing for more freedom. The world feels alive in the sky, ground, and depths. Many of the side quests felt meaningful, like they actually changed the world, especially the side adventures. The story is also a big leap in my opinion. The temples, while similar in structure to Divine Beasts, also felt better designed and varied. Aside from the water temple, that one was, yeah, it wasn't very good. And lastly, what a finale that was for the final boss. Like, oh my lord. I'm not going to get into specifics, but the final segments of this game are some of the best in the series. And if you know, then you know. If you don't, you will find out eventually. And I'm just so glad I got to beat this game before I start getting super busy again. It was an incredible experience, and I hope there's DLC for it. And that wraps up each game that I played in July. There weren't many releases this month, but I still got to play some good stuff. I got to start Rank Code, I got to beat Tears of the Kingdom, and I played some good DLC. So I think that's a win in my book. Let me know what games you've been playing this month, as well as what games you think you'll be playing next. This was the Game Journal for July, and I will see you in the next one.